So now is the time for me to give you a State of the Arts address. We have seen in these past 3 years the amazing arts community in our state. It's building momentum with individual and collective talent. So I can say unequivocally tonight and with full confidence, the state of the arts in Wyoming is strong and it is getting much stronger. And the future for the arts in Wyoming is exceptionally bright. And you don't just have to take my word for it, as my wife has had firsthand experience. One of the things she's done is gone to the Wyoming High School Art Symposium in Casper for these last 3 years. And the first year she went there, she was so amazed at our young people and the art that they produced. And she was delighted by it, and she asked if she could take one piece of art home to the governor's mansion. And the answer was yes, and she brought it home, and it was a wonderful piece that we were able to display in the governor's mansion for a year. The next year, she added a few more to that. This last year, she had 15 pieces that she brought home from Casper. And so, as I joked with the crowd earlier tonight, we're now, as we have 2 teenagers, wondering if we should move the teenagers out and more art in. She has recognized that talent and the next generation of artists coming up, and she's capitalized on that. And as Millward said, she used our Wyoming High School artists to illustrate her book, Wyoming First. And I'm proud of her for doing that, but you all should be proud of the talent we have in Wyoming at that young age. And so not only is the state of the arts strong now, but we know that the younger generation coming up, that it will continue to be strong in Wyoming. So we thank you all who are involved in it to make sure that is so. So when we think about art, poetry, music, paintings, weavings, and so much more, we recognize why we focus on the arts in Wyoming and why it's important. Art enriches our lives and touches us deeply. Art from Wyoming shows not only what we have, it doesn't show only what we can provide, it shows where we have been, who we are, and where we can go in the future. Art, like few other things, enhances the senses. Few things celebrate Wyoming life and beauty of our state in the way art does. And few things promote wonderful Wyoming like art does. So we owe a debt of gratitude, as we always mention at this time of year, to First Lady Bobby Hathaway and Governor Stan Hathaway, who their efforts formed the Art Council 47 years ago. And hasn't it done well, and hasn't it flourished? So because we're in a budget session and because we are so pleased to have our legislators with us and other elected officials, and we thank you all for being here, I want to talk a little bit sort of budgetary matters. I'm not going to rehash some things, but there's a few I'd like to. But here's the deal. The arts in Wyoming give us a creative economy. With 8,132 jobs in 2012, it is a power. The 8,000 plus jobs does not include art administrators in state and local government or art teachers, so it's actually much greater than 8,000. And since 2010, there have been 590 new Wyoming jobs added to the creative sector. The creative economy generates revenue and other positives. Art dealers in Wyoming have revenue that is 98% above the national average. Book and record sales in Wyoming account for 21.8 million in revenue, which is 29% above the national average. Revenue comes from performances, plays, concerts, music festivals, and the like. And we know this intuitively, but a national study shows an education rich in the arts increases student achievement. A high concentration of the arts in a community leads to higher civic engagement. And creativity is a sought-after job skill. So the arts are a big factor in keeping Wyoming strong. I thank the Arts Council. The Arts Council promotes the arts in a number of ways, through grants, through help, through counsel. It helps in terms of public art. It helps in terms of promotion of Wyoming artists. And it all makes a difference. And we celebrate the success they've had here tonight. So as we go through these award winners, I want to say that for Carol and I know for all of you tonight, we thank the artists who we are recognizing tonight. But beyond that, we thank all the artists, whatever their field is or whatever they're interested in, for the work they do day to day, because it makes such a difference not only in the quality of our lives, but in our vision of where we are and where we can go, and it certainly also makes a difference in our economy.